How to grow your small business. There's a book by the same name. A gentleman by the name of Donald Miller. I decided to wear my Founders Circle Mastermind vest today. Donald Miller, since you all are making history, Donald made history by bringing together 20 people last September to have our first mastermind. Donald is a multi-book selling. What I mean by that is New York Times, 3 top books on the New York Times bestsellers list. He's based in Nashville, Tennessee. Made a decision to launch Business Made Simple in Nashville because he wanted to lead coaches and leaders in helping them build their businesses. So he decided to reach out to me 3 years ago, October 2020, and said, David, I like what you're doing in Atlanta. I like what you've done when you were in DC. I started my business September 5, 2012, actually technically in Reston, Herndon, Virginia, which is northwest of DC, in Northern Virginia. Did work with John Maxwell, and then in Atlanta, expanding DP3. We've been open since, like I said, 2012. And he was looking for a group of coaches to help him deliver this content. And I was like, I'd love to get on board and be able to do that. And then I took it a step further when he gave me another invitation to be in his private mastermind, which is a very pricey mastermind. And we can talk a little bit about that as we go forward. However, I'm glad to be able to say that I have 10-digit connection to Donald Miller and how to build a business. And so this is not somebody who just woke up on one red book and said, okay, we're going to do it. There's a lot of work, blood, sweat, and tears in this. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you. One of the things I've learned in my 3 decades of being an entrepreneur, it does not matter what I think we should talk about. It matters what you want to get from this. So it's very important for you to understand this is not a lecture. I did not fly here to lecture. I came here to workshop with you. That means we have to be in partnership, in collaboration, if you will. So the first question I want to ask each and every one of you all that is in the room, if you could get this from this workshop, you would feel like it was worth you coming. I want to start with this gentleman right here. If you would give us your name and I guess your business and how long that you've had it. So name, your business and how long you've had it, and then the one thing you'd like to get out of today.
Thank you. First of all, good morning, everyone. I'm John Davis. In regards to businesses, there were multiple hats. My wife and I, about 16 years, I've had a salon that I manage. We started from the ground up. And so not only are we marriage partners, we're pretty much business partners for the whole marriage. As we went into ministry, our focus changed from beauty, salon, just regular community business to ministry. And so we served on the as directors of not directors, but coordinators of our church marriage ministry for 4 years. We then made a transition to pastoral counseling degree, and I went to seminary, and then and this is why I'm here, started focusing on marriage coaching, family. The name of our business is Family Affair Ministries. My tagline is every team needs a coach. And so that's our existence. So what I would like to get out of this is how to, I guess, piecemeal these different projects that we have where we see the needs in the community for managers, for planning, for pastoral counseling, and so forth. And also, as I've also knows, be able to do it on the online space that's productive and insightful.
John, I got a feeling you're going to realize you're in the right place. I want to go next to Deborah. I want to go right to you. Making her nervous.
Oh,
yes, yes, ma'am. That's your cue.
Just knew you were right there. My name is Joyce Mills, and My ministry or my business group is still in the incubator.
Okay.
It's JBM Ministries, but under that umbrella, I plan to have several things. I really want to focus on young girls or young women that find themselves pregnant, to encourage them to let them know this is not the end of the world, to encourage them to continue in education and whatever it means to provide for them. But not just them, but the young men as well. A program similar to Boys to Men, so that they will realize what their responsibility is. And just a number of other things. I want to try to tap into the line of helping veterans, find out like maybe what their benefits are, what their rights are, things of that nature. So it's kind of a community outreach, I guess you would say.
Okay. Thank you. Yes.
Well, I do own several businesses.
Your name, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I am Brenda Arnold Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. When you asked the question, I literally was like overwhelmed. If I started talking about all the stuff, then you would immediately say, well, she's crazy. But I have a couple of nonprofit organizations, and I am in ministry as well, or ordained minister, pastoring. But the crux of the reason I'm here today is to focus on probably my most potentially money-producing business, which is an LLC.
Okay.
That I started that LLC prior to retiring from government after 30 years of service. And I knew that I was coming out, equipped and skilled with information that a lot of people just don't get the depth that I had the opportunity to get over that period of time. And so I set up Eagle Ease LLC as a consulting firm, first to offer out services in the grant world, because I was an executive, a retired executive from housing and community development. And so the bandwidth for that is just, we offer that, grants management and administration. But while I was there, I also got involved with helping businesses, particularly business owners of color, because a lot of times they couldn't play because they weren't appropriately papered.
Yeah.
And so I got into setting up business organizations of all kinds and setting them up the right way so that they would be able to participate in the procurement process. And so I do these things under Eagle Ease LLC. There's some other things that go under that, but prior to COVID, I had a good contract, and then the COVID brought all that to an end, and it's kind of like the brook dried up. That money was coming in, and I made some money, and I was able to give jobs to people, paying them well, and I just got to try to get Eagle Ease flying again. All of the products and services are defined and developed, and it's just something about me. I say sometimes when people look at me and they see the definition of an oxen, they just want to throw all this stuff on me, and they want me to do it, but I look like I'm supposed to do it for free. I need to get my business up and monetized, because that business has the has the, you know, the wherewithal to finance all of my other endeavors.
Yeah.
And if I'm stifled. I need to get my plane flying again.
This is a good place to start. This is a good place to start. Gentlemen, with that.
Good morning. My name is Mark Craig. I'm with Woodside Consulting. My two primary clients are the Houston area Urban League, where I'm a business advisor for their entrepreneurship center, something I enjoy immensely. And then I also do a little work for a woman-owned business called B2G Victory, which assists small businesses in getting government contracts. So the thing I'm wanting to get out of today's presentation is I wonder if you could touch upon playing to one's strength.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm big on that when I'm consulting with my clients, like what's working, and then leverage that rather than trying to prop up what's not going so well.
Thank you, Mark. It's amazing how when I do this exercise, one of the reasons why I like to ask that question is because God just lays the boxes. And so, Mark, when you said that about that one strength, that's something, whether or not you all realize that or not, that's a conversation we have to have. Because what happens is that you have all of these things that you like to do, or all of these passions, if you will, and yet I'm a believer there is a purpose singular. What you're in your divine aligned purpose singular that allows you to be those other things.
I'm smiling because I'm Lisa Bailey.
At least.
How are you? And I'm a current educator, but I have a contract business with Harris County Department of Ed. I do professional development workshops for them. I also assess programs, actually assessing summer programs now. And I just want to know, I do parenting workshops, speaking, all that. And I just want to know how to bring it all together because, like you, before COVID, I had a plethora of contracts going, but wasn't able to go visit. And then they made everything online, but I didn't know how to tap into the online version to get my webinars online. So they would contact me and let me put a couple on theirs, but it wasn't producing the income anymore. And so then I started doing all kinds of other little things to supplement my income, which threw me totally off task. So when you said purpose, that's why I started laughing back here. And I'm also a children's book author. And I would like to get that moving and monetize myself and get back where I need to be or better. And I want to serve and impact the community in a positive way.
So you've written children's books, so it's obvious you know how to write a book. Have you ever thought about writing a professional book?
I'm already started there.
We can move forward then. Very well. So, Barbara, I saw these two ladies helping us greatly. They are more than just attendees. So I am blind, so I'm going to have him introduce the two in the back. And then we'll ask you the question. So go right there.
Certainly, it was my pleasure to introduce two ladies in the back. And I will start with my wife, actually. Louisa Bailey.
You should have did that from jump. Grace and mercy.
God is a good God. So the gospel is a message of grace, I think that's what. So yes, this is my wife, Louisa Bailey, and she's here supporting today behind the scenes, gift administration, and many other things. Faceted. She's a multifaceted individual. Love her. And then we have Dr. Glenda Higgins, who is at TSU, and she's helping us today as well. These are volunteers, so we love our volunteers. Let's go. Make sure that everything in the background is good so we can concentrate on in the foreground. So thank you very much.
Thank you, I appreciate it, and thank you all for being here and helping.
Mr. David,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. When you called on me, it did catch me off guard, so I left out a lot of stuff,
okay,
if you don't mind. I too am an educator, and I've been in the ministry, Christian ministry for almost 30 years. Be 30 years this year in November. But also, I kind of work hand in hand with my daughter, and she couldn't be here today, but she has a number of things that she's starting. She's starting a platform like Arise. You're familiar with Arise? It's a platform where they have businesses like Carnival Cruise or your major department stores, and people sign up to take calls from home, work from home. Some business,
Okay.
and they take calls.
Yeah.
Home Depot, different stores, and she was trying to start that platform. And really would like to. She and I and my son-in-law worked in disaster recovery
okay,
for FEMA
yeah,
back in 18 and 19, and it's such a big business. But I'd love to learn how to get in on that.
okay. Sounds good. Dr. Linda, thank you for being here. When you heard about all of this, was there one thing you said? I hope that the speaker said something about this. Something that you might have been dealing with in the role that you have right now. Obviously, education, business, but it's also diversity. And I don't know exactly what your role is, but I'd like to be able to add value.
Well, that's why I'm here,
Okay.
just to see, because I had 36 years out of the federal government before I retired, went back to school, and did all of those degrees to get the last one. And so one of the things I did was just everything, but I'm always interested in knowing how to facilitate with everyone and what others are needing or wanting. So my reach of knowing people was very vast. And so I don't know, like I said, I'm here to see what you have to offer, which was what Dr. Harvey had spoke to me about. So that's what I'm here. It's not a specific, it's just to see.
I will definitely do my best. If you had to guess something,
Oh, no,
I want to see whether or not you can use that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, man. I would say probably an interest in gaining traction on, very talented and very
That's a
various
compliment.
areas. So, yeah.
Okay.
So gaining traction maybe on a particular idea she may have in mind, develop and grow as a business.
that's it.
Running a business can feel like a mystery. Would you all agree with that?
Yes.
One of the things that I've heard you talk about is that business, COVID, drought. Close, right? And so one of the things that I want to be able to talk to you about is show you some of the things that we did at DP3 Consulting to make 2021 the best year we ever had in consulting. Coaches have coaches. And so if it wasn't for one of my coaches, Paul Martinelli, he is down in Florida, he's from Pittsburgh. If it wasn't for him and bringing his top clients together and saying, I'm not going to let you fail. And he literally basically knocked off 90% of his coaching fee that he normally would charge and say, I'm going to get all that back and then some from you because we're going to get through this together. And we're going to move forward. So part of the conversation we're going to have is some of the strategies that we used during that period of time get through that season. Okay? But it can feel like a mystery. However, when you know how to optimize the 6 parts of your business, the 6 key parts of your business, you will build a business that works. Okay? Let me lay that up here. All right. So, I flew here, and every time I get on a plane, I think about my business. Because I run my business like Delta runs their planes. So living in Atlanta, when you have a business and you understand that your business is an airplane, you can't think about flying and not think about Delta and thinking about all the things that they do to have a successful business. Even to the point where they use Airbuses versus Boeing. Does that make sense? You don't hear those issues with Delta, knock on wood, because they don't use Boeing. All right, that's intentional. Okay, because their clientele is what's most important. All right. Here's the airplane. Okay, and so this is. What about that? Here are the 6 parts of the plane. The cockpit, which is leadership. The right engine, marketing. The left engine, sales. The product is the wings. The fuel tank runs off of money. When you run out of money, you run out of fuel. You know what happens when a plane runs out of fuel. And the body of the plane, the overhead, who you have inside the plane to help you fly it. No one succeeds alone. And for us to be successful at our best, collaboration is the word. David, who do I collaborate with? We'll get to that. But it's important for you to understand that this is what your business looks like, whether you realize it or not. Okay? And so we're going to go through each part of the plane today. The hardest person to lead a business is yourself. The hardest person to say no to is yourself. And yet, when you get you straight, you are a long way in terms of transforming yourself and in turn transforming your business. And then when you're transforming you, you're transforming your business becomes a business on a mission. This is one of the terms that we like to use in the business made simple world, is all businesses should have a mission. Universities, nonprofits, whatever the case may be, they should all have a mission. Okay? A mission gives you alignment. It allows you to know what your yeses are and what your nos are. It is real easy to get distracted by tiny shiny objects if you do not have clarity around what is the overall arching purpose of this business. Not only that it increases employee engagement if you have employees, it also increases consumer public engagement. Because people love a winner. People love to be involved in organizations that help not only community, but those that impact themselves and their families. They want them to win. I see the Chick-fil-A cup. You can't think family and restaurants and not think Dan Cat if you live in Atlanta. That's just, that list is short, right? And right, wrong, or indifferent, he has a belief system where that chicken is holy. And that's the way he treats that organization and the people that he brings to that organization. That we have a certain standard, When we don't live up to that standard, we have to correct that standard. So one of the things you got to think about is, what is my standard? So that I can shun away those that are not in alignment with our organization. That's important. Okay? It allows you to attract the people you want in your organization. Understand, when people come to interview you for a job, interview with you, or they're coming for your services, you are also making a decision of whether or not you want to involve them in your business, that you want to do business with you. We have a saying, all money ain't good money. And there are times where I'm like, why did I make that decision to get with that client? Because all that has done is drain. Okay? So it's really important for you to have clarity so that you can boost productivity, because of the fact that you are in alignment with the people, places, things, and thoughts that will get you where you desire to be. This might be a little hard to see, but I'm going to tell you what's on this thing. This is a worksheet that we use in leadership when it comes to breaking down an organization to get businesses on mission. There are 4 key components: the mission statement, key characteristics, critical actions, and core values. The mission statement, the key characteristics, the critical actions, and the core values. Okay. Mission statement. We're going to do really simple. We're not going to dig too deep in this, but this is something that is something you're going to be working on continuously. So this is what a mission statement is. Well, let me start with this. What a mission statement is not is a pontification of your beliefs, your values. That's a vision statement, or a value statement, or a value proposition. That is not a mission statement when it comes to running a business. A mission statement can be either forward-facing, meaning people outside your organization see it, or it can be internal-facing, in terms of the things that we're going to accomplish over a period of time. Now, whatever school that we went to back in the day, and they talked about goals, and I think it had a lot to do with, it's the new year, make resolutions, have goals for the year, whatever the case may be. That's a losing proposition. And so throughout the course of this presentation, I'm going to recommend to you a litany of books. Okay, here's the first book. It's called The 12-Week Leader by Brian Moran, M-O-R-A-N, The 12-Week Leader. I stopped doing annual goals with my clients about 3 years ago because I realized that elephant was too big. What happens is that you start the year in January, you get to April, you realize you're behind, and now all of a sudden psychologically you're having an issue with getting motivated towards your goals. And so we made a decision that whenever we do business planning, whenever we're doing things to help us move levels in our business, we only look 90 days ahead. So mission statements that I write for my organization and for my clients, we only talk in 90 days. That's a key piece that I want you to have, okay? Because when you look at mission statement, it says we will accomplish X by X because of X, or we will accomplish X by Y because of Z. Right? So we will accomplish what's called a key economic indicator. Something that you can match to your revenue. Something intentional that you do that matches your revenue. So we will buy 30 bottles of water. I'm just giving you a numeric on this book, okay? But then goals have timelines. So you'll see buy. We will buy these 30 bottles by tonight because reason. Having clarity about a mission, 90-day mission. So for example, in real estate, I coach a lot of real estate agents. I will close 30 new home sales. This is an economic indicator because they only make money when they sell homes. So they have goals set up based upon an economic indicator. So you will see, I will close 30 new home sales, place 20 homes on the market, and add 200 potential clients to my personal CRM, and then time frame. So let's step back, because this is an example that you could think about. One of the things that you want to think about when you walk away today is, what are my key economic indicators? For example, every business, every one of you in this room must have a database, a contact list, a potential client list that you want to build. All right. So let's say that I'm working on a new project with, it's a collaboration with a lady out of Colorado and a gentleman in Cleveland, Ohio. And we are doing an event in October. We have a meeting on Tuesday to kind of get clarity about this right here. And one of the things that we said is that we would like to have 100 attendees at this event. Okay. The goal of that is because if we put a certain price on that event, let's just say it's $300. Okay. So $300, $3,000, $30,000. So the goal is we're going to make $30,000 in revenue to be able to properly deliver this event and us have profit. Okay? So we have to have people in the room. So if our goal is to have 100 people in the room, then normally the strategy when it comes to lead generation for your database is that you have to add a 0 to the number of people you have on your list. So if you want 30 sales, you have to have 300 people in your database. If we want 100 people at this event, we got to be able to come together and say 1,000 people we can put in the CRM and start advertising, marketing to the webinars, Zooms, what have you, to be able to get those 100 people in there. Okay? So when you go back and look at this, they're looking at adding new people to their database because they understand that for them to get to the number they want to get, they got to get in front of new people, not just the people that are in front of them. And setting the goal of 2 years for them to sell the thing. So let's go back. We will accomplish key economic indicator or indicators by deadline because their because is because everybody deserves to live in a home they love. All right. So now I grab my cheat sheet. John, you and I are getting ready to go into a coaching session. You just don't realize it yet. Let me get to segment 2. Because you said every team needs a coach. That's exactly what you said, right? And the team is the married couple, correct? Correct. And the name of your product is Family Affairs. I'm using that term intentionally. We'll come back to it in a second, all right? Okay? So he's already said that everyone deserves to have a coach, right? That's the reason why Family Affairs exist. Now we got to talk about what makes it good for him and his wife. Because this is a business. This is not a volunteer shop where we want to treat people like oxen. I'm in the business to make money. I do not apologize for running a profitable business. I have invested too much time, talent, sweat, tears, blood, sleepless nights for you to come in and take advantage of that, period, the end. People who pay attention. So part of money is an accountability tool. And if people don't want to be held accountable, I'm cool with it. Because there's 7.6 billion people in the world. I'm only looking for 100. So we got to look at what the bigger picture is, right? So look at the key characteristics. We talked about mission statement. Key characteristics. Key characteristics tell you what kind of people to hire and the kind of people you focus on becoming. The easiest way for you to attract the people that you want in your business is by being that person. So if you want motivated people who are able, ready, and willing, you should be someone that's motivated, and you show up motivated and energetic, and you have the ability to do what you desire to do, and are ready and willing to do what's necessary to help people get where they desire to be. Key characteristics. Book number 2. The 6 types of working genius. The theory of the book basically says that everyone has one of 6 types or 2 of 6 types in the world. You've heard of all of the assessments. DISC, Myers-Briggs, all the roll. This is another one. However, I like how in-depth this one goes from the standpoint of building teams and communities. Because everybody has to do a part. So when you think about ministries, leaders have to be great in ministries because most of the people that work in those are volunteers. So it's really important if you're leading a church, a ministry, something that requires people and volunteership. It's really important for you to understand who you have working with you. So I'm going to talk you through these 6, all right? But this is a book that I would highly recommend that you get and read so you can begin to understand. Oh, now I know why Deborah does that. Because her working genius is this. Okay? Wonder. I have wonder. The natural gift of pondering the possibility of greater potential and opportunity in a given situation. I have been given the name Alchemist. Book 3, Alchemist. If you have not read that book, it's important for you to read that book. My mother gave me that book. My mother doesn't tell me what to do. My mother sends me messages. And I just realized that I had to get older and a little bit of gray. But like, Mama didn't give me that book because she liked that book. Mama gave me that book because she wanted to also send me a message. I'm always going to be her child. Okay? And she knows that one of the ways to communicate with me is through wonder. Pondering possibilities. Getting with new clients like Auburn, listening to him and what he wants to do, and us coming up with a game plan. We started when? This is June, February, March, April, May, June, 4 months, 120 days, which by the way, never sign an agreement for less than 4 months because it takes 4 months for you to learn who you have in front of you. So these people that want, the magic bullet and the magic wand from Costco, it doesn't exist. It takes time. However, if you don't mind me saying, based upon what agreement that you have signed or about to sign, is it fair to say that you're at least 10 to 1 with me at this point through the life of that agreement? Is that fair to say? It's fair to say. Would it also be fair to say that you could have made a decision to spend more money and not get what you were looking for? Is that also a fair assessment? Okay, so you would say that that was a good investment to have the right coach when you understand what it is that you're looking for. It's not the coach's fault that you don't know what you're looking for. Yes,
He's very coachable too.
he is.
Yes, yes, sir.
And that's also very important.
Yes.
So if you're also going to be stubborn sometimes, like an ox, it is hard for a coach to coach you. I'm just using the analogy because it's in front of me. Right? But that's important. We think that the coach or a consultant is supposed to come in and know all the answers, but the reality is our job is to understand the framework that gets you where you desire to be. And also understand who we have in front of us. I wonder. I like helping people get to the fullness of their possibilities. Invention. The natural gift of creating original and novel ideas and solutions. These are the artistic people. They can look at a piece of clay and already see David in it. Versus, it's Play-Doh. I don't know what to do with that. I'm not an artistic person. Never have been. It's not the gift that was given to me. And I'm okay with that. I'm amazed at how people can just take a pen and a sketch in 10 minutes. They got this beautiful creation, and I'm like, dude, not me. But we have to have people in our world that think like that, because they can take a piece of paper with nothing and create something out of it. Discernment. That speaks for itself in this room. Especially when it comes to people. It's extremely important for us to be intuitive and instinctive about ideas and situations before we move into anything else. Galvanize. The natural gift of rallying, inspiring, and organizing others to take action. It's hard for you to do the work and then go gather people to come and help you do the work. Those are two different gifts. No wonder you worn out. Because when you're not operating in your true gift, your true attribute, your working genius, it becomes overwhelming. Enablement. The natural gift of providing encouragement and assistance for an ideal or project. It is so important to have enablers in your life, and not just professionally. It is good to have people that are your hype people. The people that no matter how much you're going through, that person is always going to bring the ray of sunshine to the situation. We've got to have encouragers. We have to have hype people in our corner to help us get where we need to be. And then be willing to jump into that with you to help you get where you desire to be. Tenacity. I have tenacity. The assessment says, I'm wondering tenacity. The natural gift of pushing projects or tasks to completion to achieve results. Right, Barbara? Because the goal was, if he gives me X, I'm going to give him 10X. That is a foundational goal of our consulting business. We are not cost, we are investments.
So many things about how to do our online presence, but read, evaluate how we come to access clients, where's my target market.
Okay, you have one. You get one.
Okay,
All right.
and I'll
You get
find them.
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna put that as such. Brenda, same question.
I think one of my critical actions may be that I need to bill for my services that have been rendered.
Tell me more about that.
Well, I have about 40 clients on my list. And most of these folks, I started with them from their idea stage. And they had an idea, they started a business, and I was maintaining their paper for them and just kind of let them fall off.
What do you think is the
Not
reason?
sending that annual bill for the things that I do to keep their paper good.
Oh, okay, so a critical action sounds like it's something operational.
Yeah.
Language of play.
Okay.
All right. Okay. If you could tighten that, because it sounds like the keeping their paper good from a layman's term is there's things that they have to do to still qualify for the grant, right? And is it something that you have to stay on top of it?
To keep their paper good for their businesses, because there's certain things that if you don't do, especially in Texas, if you are a corporation, then your charter is revoked and you don't really exist for real, but you
Do you have a checklist of those things?
not with me.
But you do have one.
Yeah. I do.
Is it easily distributable to those clients?
Yeah, I spent like last year doing a spreadsheet,
Mm-hmm.
getting them all on there and all the information that I need.
Mm-hmm.
And if I collect what they all owe me, then that's like my seed money. So, I'm just,
Okay.
yeah.
So, let me ask you a question. Do you have an automated way to communicate with those people to A, get them to do what they need to do, and B, pay you?
I think by now I have everybody's email address, the key person, and I think I have good phone numbers.
Okay. Do you have a automated tool that communicates with those people?
Like what, like a computer?
Like like some sort of, something that you don't have to touch.
No, I don't.
Okay, we're gonna come back to this. All right, because it's two things. It's this, and it's also, I'm just gonna use the term, and I'm gonna bring it up on the computer here in a second.
Okay.
Something like a honey book.
Okay.
Honey book is used by small businesses to do what you just talked about. Communicating what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, how it needs to be done, and by the way, click this button to pay me.
And I'm very depressed about it at this juncture.
And I'm speaking to a business person,
I
not
don't
you.
know why, you get all this good service, and I've been doing it for years, and I was just trusting that you would show me that I am valuable to send me something, but none of y'all have sent me anything, and I'm really pissed about it.
So, yeah, people who pay attention, right? You said a very key word, which is I trusted that they would X, Y, and Z. And if you pull out any bill in your pocket, there's 4 words that are on there, and the last word is trust, and 2 before that is God. Everybody else, I verify.
I got you.
It's business.
That's right.
That's right.
And then I'm mean.
Yeah, I'm the bad guy, but that's okay because you signed an agreement. I did my part. There's a book, by the way, called Chris Voss. Chris Voss has a book called Never Split the Difference. It's a great book. Chris used to be an FBI hostage negotiator. If he can teach you how to negotiate for somebody's life, he can teach you how to negotiate in business. Okay? Voss, V-O-S-S, Chris Voss. Never split the difference. What has to happen in your operations is the reverse from a financial standpoint of what you do. So what I mean by that is this. In the consulting and coaching world that I live in, I get paid before services are rendered.
Okay.
And I get paid for that period of time that I'm going to work. But one reason why I do that is because now you've blocked my calendar, and I only have but so much bandwidth. And I'm not the dude that's trying to go out here and work himself in the ground. And I price myself accordingly. This sounds crazy, but I'm looking for no's. Yep.
Can I ask a question on
Yeah.
your defined audience? Would that be your marketing?
So define audience. For example, let's go back to my event that we're working on, Collaborative October. The name of the event is Discover Your Unique Success. Since y'all started right. Discover Your Unique Success. October 22 or 22 and 23, I think. That's a Tuesday and a Wednesday in Nashville. So I'll have to go and put it on that. Discover Your Unique Success, Nashville, October 22, 23. I'm going to confirm that. The byline is helping coaches and consultants achieve their definition of success, something like that. I'll read it to you. So I specifically said to you, coaches and consultants. So there's clarity. If you're a coach, you're the audience. If you're a consultant, you're the audience. If you didn't hear yourself in that, you're not the audience. Your audience, I'm assuming, is married couples, or couples about to get married. So they're engaged, right? In both. Right. Okay, somewhere in there. But you see where I'm going with that, right? That's his audience. You didn't say anything about people who are about to stab themselves, stab each other and come out of marriage. See what he said? I want that. So he has clarity about his no. Right? So when you speak audience, when you ask that question, the question you ask yourself is, who do I enjoy working with? How are my skills best used? Who are the people that would best benefit from me working with them? That's all. Here's the trap. But I like this, and this. Once you have the signature product, all the other products get fed. Okay, now keep using the term product intentionally, because people see your solution as product. And oh, by the way, you are a product. I am a brand. If I came up here rambling, if I came up here reading notes, if I didn't have a slide, if I couldn't communicate, if I couldn't pontificate, if I couldn't communicate multi-syllable words, you might be like, why is this dude even up here? Versus meetdavidpatterson.com. Here's what we're going to talk about. I'm going to give it to you. We're going to review it at the end. We're going to have a ton of notes and other actions. I am a brand. So you have to take seriously how you show up. Because understand, I'm a big believer in the law of vibration. 7 universal laws. One is the law of vibration. Everybody has an energy to them. How many times you've been somewhere and somebody walks in the room and the energy changes, positive or negative? That's a real thing. Okay, so that's what I mean by audience. Hopefully that helps. Hey, do you have an audience?
Oh, I have one.
Okay, very good. Okay. One more critical action. Now that we've talked about what critical actions are, can anybody think of critical actions that might help them kind of get out of this? Deborah. So Deborah came to Atlanta for our Coach Builder Journey workshop that we did, right? And you walked out the room hopefully with some critical actions that you needed to take, right? Can you tell me one that you actually took?
So, coming to Opera, I thought I knew what I would do already. But after coaching and coming to that workshop, I realized I needed to change the direction and my focus for my business. I realized I needed to be coaching coaches. And so, that's one of the action that I took was to begin to build a business to coach.
How did you come to the conclusion that your audience was coaches?
Because the work that I've done, I've gone to a lot of coaches. And I realized that I've gotten a little piece of this here, a little piece of that there, but this program pulls it all together. And now I can take what I've learned, add it to this, boom, I need to coach.
What's the name of your program?
The name of my program is Grounded to Grow.
Grounded to Grow.
Coach Transformation Program.
What is the intent of that program?
The intent of the program is to offer instruction, information, and resources to coaches so that they grow from the ground up.
You have to be able to deliver your program or product. David, what's EP3 Consulting do? We have organizations professionalize their operations so we can double their revenue. But David, I don't have any revenue. Wonderful. So the goal is to build a six-figure business. How are we going to do that? We got a framework that starts with a discovery call that you pay for that talks about what it is that we're going to do. And then you're going to pay. True or false? You had paid me and we had started. We didn't get through 40 minutes of our first session. I said, you're going to have to pay me more money. Did I not? You okay still that you made that decision? We have not because,
Yeah.
but I had to know that I had a program that was going to get him home. And the rest is accept. And so we build from that now, right? Right. So now we're having conversations about bandwidth now. We ain't having conversations about where my client gonna come from. Stop me when I start lying.
He's found on band.
Yeah,
I've heard that concept.
yeah. So, hypothetical. Let's say that there is a coach or consultant that says in 2025 that their revenue, their triple net profit, we don't need to get into the number, let's see if we can get it on that their triple net profit, what they take home is going to be $400,000. You with me so far? All right. So he also says, you like that? All right. Check this out. There's many ways to get home. Here's one way. Let's make the numbers easy. A client that pays you $2,000 a month for 10 months, because you don't work 12 months. A client that pays you $2,000 a month for 10 months is $20,000. With me? What's 20 times 20? That's what it is. So my bandwidth is 20 clients who pay me $2,000 a month. David, what if somebody wants to come past 20 and pay you the coach? No problem. The fee is $2,500 a month. Because now I'm giving away time that I didn't want to give away. They hired me. The next one comes, and I say it's that, and they hire me. There's two things I've learned in this. One is, if you have value, people will pay you. And two, if people will pay you a higher number, you were low to begin with. Did y'all catch the second?
Yes.
So if they were paying you X for that consultation, and you just decide, you know what, I'll put $100 on it, see what happens. And then 3 people do it. You're like, I'm low, so I need to put another 50 on it. I go out there and 3 more people do it. I'm low. And so now she's making more money. But has more bandwidth. And so when you get people to pay you up front, there's not a cash flow issue because you've got money coming in. See the wheels. People don't think about these things when they start a coaching business. They think about helping people. There's nothing wrong with that. You're running a business. Yeah.
It was a big step for me to understand, to attach the value that I bring to those numbers. Because it's like I'm helping people and they don't pay. I ask for that. And so it was a big step.
Sure.
But when I understood the value,
hypothetically, let's say there's a client that says that they wanted to make a decision and they wanted to build a six-figure business. And the coach comes to them and says, I tell you what, give me $1. I'll give you 10 back. Would y'all do that deal? Of course you would. You give me $1 and I'm gonna give you a $10 bill back?
Yeah. Oh,
Of course you would do that deal, right? So you do it for that, then you definitely would do it for 50 cents to get $10, right? Stopping when I lie. You've done the math, right? Okay. Value. David, you actually got people paying you $15,000, $20,000, $25,000? Yes! Why? It's not a cost. I'm not selling if I make this statement. All right. If all she did was pay me to get her house in order and go get this money, and I got 10% of all that account receivable that she had, would it be worth it? Yes. That's what consultants do. They provide solutions to problems. I got a young lady that's about to have a child. She's nervous, doesn't know what to do. That's a problem. People who are in love and getting ready to get married, they ain't absolutely no idea. That's a problem. Sometimes the marketing and messaging is to communicate, and we come that's a problem. Hey, what's that got to do with building a business? Everything. Because if you can't communicate the message and you can't communicate your value proposition, you got nothing. And taking the actions that are necessary to make sure I get my money because I've worked so hard to get these people where they need to be. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'm gonna give you a quick lesson. You ready? I want you to say exactly what you're ready to say. Ready? No. No.
That's my action item.
I said that and I was literally, taken off the P list.
Okay.
And ostracized. And,
Yep.
you know, that
Absolutely.
talked about me
Yep.
as I'm born, you know,
Yep. Yep.
she won't give her gifts, you know.
Yep.
She said give.
Yeah, your gifts and talents and skills, she won't bring them, you know, to the house of the Lord one more time.
So they
all
told
that
you
kind of stuff.
that they paid somebody.
And so,
Yes.
All of these mostly are churches.
and so
Yes.
the master gave them talents. 1, 2, 5, 10. He goes away, he comes back.
Yeah.
Right.
40
They are multiplied.
churches.
Oh, do you think it was just because that person went out and just volunteered? I know we don't have it in scripture, but that's not. Give unto Caesar.
But what's his? And Brenda,
Y'all want to do this, we can do it.
You can come on with it. We got some MDs and
Okay.
DMs up there.
So don't come to me talking about X, Y, and Z. He's the one that gave me the gift and the vision.
That's right. Y'all got it for free for,
Be fruitful,
hey,
exceeding.
And
abundantly.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry that the power will always be with us.
Yes.
The reason for that is his mindset. And if you don't renew your mind, I told you, y'all want to,
Yeah.
we can do it if you want to do it. All right? So I'm over that.
You,
Because he's the one that gave it to me.
but you don't muzzle the ox as he treads out the corn.
However, and I told him,
Feed you.
listen, I told him this. If I could ever come to IC3, what did I say my fee was?
Uh-huh.
What did I say? I'm just walking in the door. I'm coming because that's the tithe. It's up to him to decide how he want to bless me because I came in there and did that. How many people would say that? They know they're walking in the room with 10,000 people, whatever the number say, David, what you gonna get paid? I'm just getting on the plane and come and do what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave it in the Lord's hands. Because he said that if I lend to them, he owes me. People miss that scripture.
The scripture, when you lend to the people, it's like making a loan to God.
And so if we're gonna do
He will
covenant,
repay you.
so we're gonna do covenant, let's do covenant.
What it says.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Can I cast it in secular terms?
Yes,
People little value what they don't have to pay for.
that's right.
That's exactly
That's right.
right. And that's what it's
And so we have to make sacrifices as entrepreneurs for us to get what we desire to be, unfortunately. So, mission statement, talk.
So, on August 1st, you will have the opportunity to do a deeper dive into developing a business mission statement. Just as David described it in the earlier session, we'll actually work with those components to walk away with your mission statement that has guided principles and the economic indicators. So, and this one is free for you. So all you'll need to do is sign up. It will be virtual, so you don't have to worry about getting all dressed up and coming Katy Road or Old Katy Road.
Yes.
And you'll receive a link that you can just click and sign up for that workshop on the first.
Yeah.
It starts at 7 p.m.
Give me 20-ish minutes, we're gonna take a break.
So,
Yep, go ahead.
on that honey book, you
Yeah.
say that's a technology tool?
It is, I'm gonna bring it up for you.
Okay.
Yeah, if you can search
Yeah,
the
I
top,
can just- I-
but I will bring it up on the screen here in a minute because, when we get to operations.
Okay,
Because operations are people, systems, and tools. People, systems, and tools make up operations. Honey book is a tool that can help you with the account receivable. Okay. Let's go into marketing. Clarifying your message. That starts with audience. right? And getting clear about audience. We talked about that a little bit in previous questions. But audience basically offers the clear value proposition. My framework is a 10X framework. It allows people when they invest in our organization and our network and our tools and our systems and our people. Our goal is to 10X your investment. DP3 Consulting is a team of consultants that help people with the sixth part of the plan. That is what DP3 Consulting is. And we've been blessed to have some great clients in a short period of time be able to see that 10X return on investment. Time only helps us get better because we do this every day. This is what we do. This is our full-time gig. This is how we go about making our money and putting bread on the table. Okay? A message invites you into a story. Story sales. When you can tell a story about what your product or service does, it increases the chances that you're going to convert with the person that's in front of you considering hiring. It allows you to create more effective marketing materials, collateral, that allows you to increase the growth of your business financially. And one of the ways that you do that is by creating what's called a one-liner or an elevator pitch, if you will. We have to stop being reactive to people when they ask us what we do and give them the same old standard answer. You cannot write a powerful elevator pitch or one-liner without knowing your audience. Because you have to be able to communicate off the jump who you are for, what your business is for. The story brand one-liner is a single statement made popular by Donald Miller that you can use to help people realize why they need your product or service. It is the most effective way to answer this question, what do you do? Here are the steps. Once you've identified the audience, now you must state the problem. So back to my hand, Dan. Mark, what's the signature product? If I asked you what a signature product was in Woodside Consulting, what would it be?
Assisting minority-owned entrepreneurs.
What problem do they experience?
Lack of access to both resources and capital.
Minorities have challenges with accessing capital and what?
Resources.
Resources. Y'all see that? So minority business owners, right?
Right.
Minority business owners is the audience. I asked him 3 questions, he gave me the audience, and you see it. But he also gave me what the problem was. He halfway home. He has clarity. Is he communicating that clarity in a way where people pick it up like that? Okay? So, Mark, how do you educate people where they can go get access? How do you get to them? How do you communicate?
Well, I work with that, well, it's peeling the onion. You know,
Okay.
you have to find out what their needs are. And the client needs to trust you, you know, that disclosing this information, you're not going to use it to harm them or to shame them, more importantly. That you're there to help them. Where the client is and what their capacity is, moreover.
Tell me what you mean by capacity.
Money, you know.
Yeah, right. And so you would identify that in your discovery session.
Yeah,
Basically,
exactly.
we're talking about your discovery session, right?
Yes,
So they'll book the discovery session. I'm walking through something. So booking the discovery session and then identifying the resources that they need to go to expose themselves to XYZ. Is there a third step in helping David Patterson, minority business owner, take the next step in his business?
so, well, I want to know something about your finances.
Okay.
Quite apart from just revenue, but do you have a CPA? And what is your banking relationship? So because, say, you wanted to engage a marketing agency, but your money was tied up in receivables,
Yes.
then do you have a line of credit that you could call upon in order to pay for a marketing service?
Wood Hill, what's the name of it?
Woodside.
Woodside. All right, everybody with me? All right. This is off the cuff, so it's gonna be messy. Mark, one of the things about me is that when I get on a riff, you can't ask me, what did you say? So, okay, so I should want to alert you, okay? An example of a one-liner or a elevator pitch is minority business owner. It's obvious that I have the uniform on of a minority business owner and I'm in the elevator with them or at brunch or something. And I ask him, I'm playing him, what does he do? I'm sure you know some other minority business owners that have challenges with access to capital and resources. Audience, problem. With me? With our Wood Hill framework, we help minority business owners access the things that will allow them to grow a 6 or 7 figure business. Did you see it? Audience, problem, product, result. Versus, I'm a consultant. You told me who you work with. You told me you understood my problem. You told me you have a framework that helps people do this to solve this problem. And the result when you work with us. Tell me more about that, Mark. Well, it's a 3-step process. What would that cost me? Not, let's get together so I can take your stuff. Is that close? That's what you do.
Yeah.
You have to be able to communicate your business like that. That's why when I was taking Deborah through those questions, she was checking boxes. She knew the script. I asked her that also because I needed to know if she had a good coach. I mean, really. Mark, does that help?
Yes.
Now you can go and take that, and one of the things that they have too, landing pages. Mark could brand a product, a service that he provides at Woodside. Get a domain name, get a landing page, email his database, go to the luncheons and the networking that they're doing, and say, hey, you know, I went to this event in June, and I spent 60 days putting together this framework. And I want to tell you guys about it, because we need to start getting ready to do business in 2025. These are the exercises that you have to go through to provide value to someone in making them say, hey, I'll pay for that. That sounds good. But people like me, and people like me, I wouldn't want to waste Mark's time. So I would go to Mark after I'm asking a question and say, Mark, I'm going to meet with you. What are some things that I need to do before we even meet? You don't have to answer that. But he knows he has somebody that's motivated by that question. Because one of the things you got to understand about somebody like me and people that think like me, wonder, I'm going to go in the cave and I got a big whiteboard. And everything you told me to have, I'm going to put them together. And then I'm going to call you and say, Mark, we ready. I'm coming to you. What's your schedule look like? And it makes it simple for him now. Because you're giving me the test. I'm coming back with the answers. Let's meet in the middle and do something. Does that make sense? When you see this framework, what does it make you think? Help. Tell me what you're doing.
Easy to create the one-liner if you know your framework.
We fight so much to try to communicate what it is we want to say to people. And it's because nobody really showed us a simplest framework. So, when it's John, right? When John talked about family affairs, I was like, that's the presentation. He knows his audience. Helping couples understand there's more to this marriage thing than y'all feelings. So let's spend some time together in a 6-part framework, whatever you want to call it, that's going to help you with these things. But one of the 6 got to be money. If it ain't in there, we need to add it. Right?
I know when you did the one-liner for Mark's business, my ears perked up when you said 6 figures. Take your business to 6 figures. So if I was that person, then that's gonna arouse my curiosity, and I'm gonna want to know more about what he does and how he does it.
Because the next question that Mark asked after he has had the conversation with me, who do you know that is a struggling minority business owner that I can help? The first goal of any conversation is to set an appointment. The first goal of any conversation is to set an appointment. The second goal, if I can't set an appointment, is how do I get a referral? So you got to know how to ask for a referral without saying you're asking for a referral. So a referral can look like this. There are several of you all that have connections to organizations, whether they be civic, corporate, or educational in Metro Houston. And there are people that you know people that are looking for people who can come and give webinars, seminars, presentations on leadership, personal growth, and building a business. If you know someone that could use our services, give us a call. Did y'all see that? That wasn't a hypothetical. Okay.
Smooth.
Right.
Smooth.
Yeah.
Because not only do I want to help you all, there are people that you all know that our organization can help. Which makes you look like, yeah. Y'all got it?
Can you say it again?
Yeah, which part?
So I know you are connected to that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Each one of you all, because of the questions I asked, there are three key components of what you all bring. Ministry, whatever form. Minority system, higher education. You can't tell me there hasn't been at least 3 times in a year that someone has asked you, do you know somebody that can talk about this? If you're as connected as I think you may. What would have to happen for me to be able to come to your organization and help add value to your organization? Or is there a gap in your personal or professional development in that organization that our company might be able to help? Let's see that. You're asking questions, you're not selling. Who do you know right now could use a 15-minute phone call with our organization to talk about future events? These are questions I'm asking you, but these are questions that you should be asking. What organizations are also in front of you? Here's one. You two could have a collaboration. John and Jordan. Yes. Because sometimes they make a decision to get married because of the child. John, we need to talk to them and make sure this is the right thing. Right?
See, as you're talking, what I'm processing is, from my experience, the coaching aspect of marriages, you can't touch it. So couples generally go wild, not believing or thinking or even comprehending e-coaching till it gets that part to where they, counseling.
Yeah.
So
what's the resolution to that?
That's what I'm at.
Get in the front of it. You got to put the messaging out now.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm at. Where do I launch? How do I get that out? I mean, 'cause
Okay.
you can go to churches and stuff because we've done that, but that's not the way.
Do I have clarity about who my audience is? Okay. Where does my audience live? More likely, if you're talking about people that are millennial and younger, that live in social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok.
Podcasts.
It's messaging, it's flooding the market. Why do you think that camera's running? Because I'm not one to get in the studio and produce all kinds of content, but I can do this. My marketing assistant's gonna love me Monday. I'm gonna dump hours of stuff on her. Because she begs me for stuff. Here, leave me alone. But she's good at what she does. We gotta create 90 days of that content. I gotta do 90-day dating. Why? Because I can't be up here thinking about creating content. I'm trying to help everybody. So if I miss a week or 3, I'm recording for 4 or 7 hours before I get to the airport to talk about what it is I did. With me. All right. So there are people that have said, "Oh, I'll never be in that situation," and then they end up getting in the situation and they remember, you know what? There was this dude. You're solving the problem before the problem comes up. That's the answer. there are minorities that don't have businesses. That should not stop Mark from flooding the market airwaves with what his product is. Because what ends up happening is Joy goes to work one day, I'm just doing a hypothetical, and her boss said something sideways, and she said, you know what? We done. We done, because I value my freedom over this shit. Hey, Marcus Joy, I know you don't remember me, but we met at blah, blah, blah. That money stuff you were talking about, you still doing that? That happens every day.
I mean, I like the one-liner that you said, what was that one-liner you said about, you know, we're about to get married, what's the problem? You know,
Yeah.
you're about to get married, that's a problem. That alone, on, you
How
know,
dare you? But what it does is starts a
starts
conversation.
conversation.
How could that be a problem?
Problem, right.
Well, go watch this series of videos
Right.
and get back to me.
Mhm.
You know what? We had talked about that.
Right.
True story, we'll go lunch. I started my entrepreneur career as a real estate agent in Columbia, South Carolina. And first year, second year, one of the two, I take this couple out. And we went and found a house. We came back, it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock. And we were going to write the contract, and I don't put anybody in my car for insurance purposes. Remember I told you, I didn't really appreciate it now, but I knew it then, but I couldn't keep it. I walked in the room, and something didn't seem right with the two of them. And I said, everything okay? I thought we were good to find a house, this and the other. And the lady says, David, can you give us a minute? Like, yeah, I'm hungry. So I'm gonna go get something to eat. You call me when y'all ready. Okay. Come back 45 minutes later. We haven't had the commitment conversation. Before I sign on this piece of paper with this man, we needed to have this conversation. Because we get caught up in emotions and stuff versus the things that really gonna test whether or not we can pull through this. So now is the time when people are not even thinking about it. I'll take it a step further. I'm not gonna ramble, but I'm just speaking for me. I got a nephew that's 14, all right? About to be a freshman. Decent basketball player. He's got to grow in his body. But when he grows in his body, I told him, I said, anybody that play defense like you, that shoot 80% from the free throw line and can hit 60% of the threes in the NIL world, you ain't got to worry about going to school, and you got to worry about what you're going to drive, and you ain't going to have to worry about what you're going to wear. Somebody's going to pay you. But you got to get your house in order. But you also got to know how to deal with women in relationships. Remember, there's micro and macro. He's talking about when they decide that they got married. What about before that? And understanding what I got to be as a man to be able to go into any relationship. You did?
And that just happened to me with a couple that I did premarital with. Long story short, they ain't getting married.
Y'all need to have because that's all part of the training. Now I'm gonna really go on a bit. You meet somebody that they decided to get married and they want to build a business together, but they don't know how to go about getting any money to build that business. Collaboration. You gotta always be looking for the collaborative. Always be collaborative.
To you, Mark Craig, and I'll let you take it over from here, sir.
Thank you. So, I'm going to give you a structure for the 60-second pitch. And this young lady is going to be the timer. So how it works is the first thing you talk about is the big picture or opportunity. And then you introduce the name of your company. your name and the name of your company. So check it out. The why we do that is oftentimes people aren't quite paying attention when you first begin. And so by the time, if you introduce your name and the name of your company as the second thing, they're ready to hear it. Then you go into your story and the problem that you're solving. So if you have some sort of personal connection to your business, so I'll use for example a woman named Darlene who had a maternity home, and she herself had been a homeless mother without any place to go to deliver her baby. So she had passion around her maternity home. So she had a direct connection to it. So big picture opportunity, your name, name of your company, your story, and if possible, your personal connection to it. And then finally, your dollar ask and how much you've invested yourself. So don't censor yourself and think, I can only ask for $5,000 because I'm pitiful. No, you ask for what you'd like to receive if limitless funds were available and you were talking to an investor. And muy importante, how much you've invested yourself. You know, it could be $5,000, it could be $50,000, whatever that amount is that you've invested, that you need to mention that, and that concludes it. And again, 60 seconds. So I've seen this work in action. Not this June, but the previous year, the National Urban League was having its conference in Houston. As a consequence, they were remodeling the 1301 Texas Avenue. And so we didn't have a pitch competition for that particular class at Small Business University. So instead, there was an opportunity to participate with Texas Black Expo in their pitch competition. So our members of our class went to it, and then there were people that weren't associated with the Urban League that were there too. So of course, our people won. brag. And then we had a debrief afterwards, and the class was like, oh yeah, we were so much better. So point being is this structure that I gave you isn't just out of thin air. I've seen it in action, and it works. So who wants to go first?
I did mention the prize, right?
What's the format again? You said big picture.
Big picture,
Company story.
your name, big picture, your name, name of your company, your story, and the problem you're solving, and the dollar ask, and how much you've invested yourself. Skin in the game.
Does this have to be true or hypothetical?
I never encountered that question. I think it'd be better if it were true. It resonates differently when it's true. Is it John? Why don't you roll?
Yeah, I was just about to.
So if you could stand right here in front of me. You can have your notes.
60 second pitch, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm always quick as well. I'm talking.
Let me know when you're ready.
Great. Due to the traditional inability to connect between husband and wife in traditional marriage, Family Fair Ministries prides themselves on being able to help navigate the pitfalls of those communications. We've been doing that for over 20 years. We're looking to have $1 million grant or funding, with which we've already invested $30,000 in.
Great. Feedback.
Was that 60 seconds?
That was like 30 seconds.
Don't talk much.
Yeah. Feedback. I've taken full advantage of the time that's allotted to you. Now I know you're improvising on the spot, so I'm not going to be like flogging you. And two, you didn't say your name. So yeah, you said the name of the company, but you didn't mention your name. So just get accustomed to incorporating that into your pitch. But it had great structure. So congratulations on the structure. And don't I harp on structure when I'm giving feedback? Yeah. So Joyce, do you want to go? That got you mid drink.
Always.
The big picture, name and anything else to do. Can I take a vote?
You can take it now.
The big picture, take it. Okay. Yeah. We have a potential problem nowadays. We have a generation that gets lost in the process of living. Once a young lady, unfortunately, prior to marriage, gets pregnant, sometimes she seems to feel like her life is over and there's nothing else left for her to do. But I want to let them know that there is so much potential in them. Not just the fact that they've erred, because we all have. They have potential, and I want to be able to show that to them. My company is JBM Ministries, but that one particular ministry is called Great Potential. And we want to show them what that is. And I have invested over $500 into my business, but it's one that I believe in because my young daughter became pregnant. And had it not been for me, an extended family, who knows where she would have been.
So, I love the personal connection. That makes for very compelling. And the beauty of it is that it's true, So, that's persuasive. Again, y'all are so honest. You don't introduce your names, Yeah. So, but
The JBM was just for you.
yeah. But John didn't do it too, so I'm not jumping on that. But I liked you basically adhered to the structure. I would have liked for you to ask for a dollar amount. I'd like an investment of $25,000 or whatever it was. But it was for extemporizing. I'm like, you did good, kid. So, would you like to go first?
Not really, but
But you will.
I'm ready, but
You got it.
let me bring my paper here.
Okay.
Y'all will make me.
We got on a huge too, so that should give you some confidence. Just let us know when you're ready.
Okay. We get all the meat out of the meat.
You don't want that big piece of hair steak.
I am Dr. Brenda
Wait,
Armstrong.
hold up. You can need to give her the cue.
Oh, okay.
Remember to start with your story first.
As individuals, we tend to take care of our health. And one of the ways we do that is by going to the doctor every year We take physicals and different tests to make sure that we're okay. And for early detection of any problems. And I have found out that it's not the same with our businesses. And most of the time, we don't even think about the fact that a business, especially a corporation, is defined as a person. And we don't take care of that person. I'm Dr. Brenda Scott. The name of my company is Eagle's LLC. And one of the things we do at Eagle's is to ensure that we can do a health check for you. We'll health check your company, find out everything that's wrong with it. And just like when you go to the doctor, you can go into my charts and take a look and see what the doctor said, and then we can come back. It's over.
Yep. But I liked your story, you know, thank you for a compelling story. And you didn't have any chance to practice, you know, so don't be flogging yourself, yeah. But I liked your story, I liked how you set it up like a health check.
Yeah.
It was, you had that personal touch in there. You had a compelling narrative. Your only challenge is making it more pithy and concise. Yeah.
Yeah, but what I wanted to do was ask for $300,000 because right now, my greater number of clients is the nonprofit community. And they don't have money, they can't pay. And in order to help them, I need a grant to be able to service my clients. At least $300,000.
Yeah.
Does this gentleman want to go?
Really, but I will.
You're going to take a stab at it?
Just so because I'm gonna have to leave anyway. Well, I'm happy to see you. Well, I'm happy to see you today. It's truly a blessing to be able to tell you about the fact that when I go to church on Sunday, there's more women than men. And when the men join church, I get an opportunity to talk to them and talk to them about salvation, talk to them about their life. And I thought, since I'm JJ Williams on the radio, I can talk to them about the fact that their life can be impactful, not only with coming to church, but being church. And my nonprofit organization, the Afternoon Delight Foundation, helps with that because we have a men's conference that we do quarterly. And we're looking for funds. We need to have sponsorship. We want to have people that's going to be able to be a part of it. And we're looking forward to
So I thought you did. I thought you did pretty well with your structure. I would suggest going forward that the opening be a little more succinct, a little shorter. But you know, for off the cuff, I thought you did just fine. And moreover, you were speaking from the heart, so that came through loud and clear.
thank you.
You want to go?
If anyone would like more to eat, they're about to pack up, so please help yourself. There are to-go containers as well, so don't leave without.
No, you said
He's ready.
Look at anything. Good. Just let us know when you're ready.
Do you want a chance to impact, inspire, and ignite your staff, student, and parents to be empowered, educated, confident, and to be lifelong learners? Call me, Lisa Bailey, at L. Bailey Solutions. That inspiring helped me get started back in 2000. I'm a widowed single parent, and I went back to school, and I decided to start my business. After investing $3,000, I would like another $10,000 for a lifelong conference to inspire our parents.